This is the Dzogchen Semde Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Join Meditation School. For multiple decades, I spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. It is Rey Skywalker early Sunday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. We'll begin with Mahayoga's union of wisdom and letting go, which is known by many names, such as Tantra Mahamudra, Tokal, or leaping over pride's obstruction to omniscience, creation stage, and bringing letting go or ultimate bodhicitta into the 4 bases of mindfulness. Let us begin with the circumstantial. I invite you to chant along with me. If you are watching on the Clock app, you are welcome to join me on the Tube app simulcast, whose link is found in my bio. If you're seeing both the chanting text as well as my goofy face on your screen, then you know you're on the Tube app. Together. As we relax into our exhalation, all stressful circumstances, all lots, could look as impermanent, non-defining, and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light, that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. So in other words, as we relax into our exhalation, that which seemed permanent during our in-breath seems impermanent during our out-breath. That which feels like it defines us as we breathe in feels like it doesn't define us as we relax into our exhalation. That which seems, or that which could feel independent as we breathe in feels interdependent as we breathe out. This is not a question of faith or visualization or philosophy. It is simply what happens when we passively cooperate with our autonomic nervous system. Together. And since I lost some momentum by explaining, let's take it from the top. As we relax into our exhalation, all stressful circumstances or lots could look as impermanent, non-defining, and interdependent. Whoops. As if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light, that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. Yes, to the cunning use of the preposition as, we've converted metaphor into simile, which is essentially a metaphor with training wheels. We now play with the 6-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. During our inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite into form. During our exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite all lots melt. By playing with these words in harmony with our breathing, we practice a distinctly passive and visceral version of contemplation. One of the humorous things about this series of 4 passive contemplations is they take our inherent self-centeredness and use it as a tool to transcend self-centeredness, which is just delicious. Let us shift gears to the physical. As we relax into our exhalation, all stressful bodies or forms could feel as impermanent, non-defining, and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this experience of the interpersonal law speech. Into speech, all forms melt. Let us shift gears to the interpersonal. As we relax into our exhalation, all the stressful interpersonal phenomena or speech could sound as impermanent, non-defining, and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. Into mind, all speech melts. Let us shift gears to the mental. As we relax into our exhalation, all stressful perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, imaginings, or minds could seem as impermanent, non-defining, and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this vast empty void. Into void, all minds melt. Let us shift gears to Hatha Yoga's union of awareness and letting go, which is known by many names, including Sutra, Mahamudra, Trekcha, or slicing through the dualistic, obscuring emotions of dread and desire, and Great Completion Stage. It is a preliminary practice. It can be useful to gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at our crown. The easiest way to do that is to chant the Lama Kyendo, which could be translated as "Teacher, come to this crown." If you are watching on the Tube app, this bronze image represents us, the meditator, and this red image represents either the amalgam of all those who have mastered the teachings or simply the teachings themselves. So there is no need to visualize or philosophize. There is no need to force things. If all we do is chant the phrase, "Teacher, come to this crown," while snapping our index and thumb as we chant the preposition "this," then the energy work will take care of itself together. Teacher, come to this crown. Teacher, come to this crown. Teacher, come to this crowd. Let us not make the mistake of actively focusing on either our nostrils or our breath, for doing so could so fatigue our medial prefrontal cortex at the just behind our forehead that it could trigger our amygdala at the bottom of our brain, which functions as the seat of both anxiety and aggression. Instead, let us emulate an enthusiastic piano student who is so enthralled with the score and the keyboard that they merely hold the sound of their metronome in passive peripheral awareness. As we passively notice air enter our nostrils, let us silently and mentally recite passively watching. During our exhalation, let us physically relax as best we can while chanting the 10-syllable mantra 3 times per breath for 52 breaths. To keep track of our first collection of 12 mantras, every time we chant the syllable Om, let us advance our right thumb across the sets of creases found on the underside of our fingers, beginning with the set of creases at the bottom of our right little finger and concluding with the set of creases at the top of our right index finger. Together, let us practice right now. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Passively watching. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Chanting the mantra 12 times takes approximately 1 minute. So if you'd like to meditate for an additional 12 minutes, I recommend counting sets of 12 upon our left hand. Let us begin by touching the tip of our left thumb, once again to the lower set of creases on its left little finger. We then rest the wrist of our left wrist either on or near our left knee. We return our attention to our right hand. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tarit Tarit Ture Sawam. 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 Having collected another 12 mantras, we return our attention to our left hand, where we advance our left thumb in preparation for our next collection of 12 mantras. And now that you get the basic idea of how we could count 12 sets of 12 mantras each, let's rest each wrist on or near its knee. Om Tarit Tarit Ture Sawa. 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 Om Tarit Tarit Ture Sawam. 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 Om Tarit Tarit Ture Sawa. 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 The moment you have a specific question about the philosophies or techniques that support mindfulness and meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions approximately once every 13 minutes or so. Om Tarit Tarit Ture Sawa. 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 Om Tare Tare Ture Suwa, 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 Om tare tu tare tu re so wa. 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 What is enlightenment? What if enlightenment was simply mastering the Buddha's eightfold path? But what do we mean by mastery? Once we've mastered a skill, we find ourselves practicing it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. For instance, as children, we mastered the skills of using the toilet instead of our diapers, of brushing our teeth, of tying our shoes, of riding a bike, no less reading, writing, and arithmetic. The Buddha taught it was possible to master his path in as little as 7 days. One of the cool things is that the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's eightfold path is mindfulness and meditation. Simply practicing this as little as once every 12 hours causes us to automatically master the previous 8 folds of the path. The more we sit and breathe and watch and rest, the more we cannot help but notice change and non-graspability. The more we sit and breathe and watch and rest, the more we cannot help but experience greater empathy of intention, empathy of communication, empathy of conduct, as well as empathy of commerce. The more we sit and breathe and watch and rest, the more our choices and utterances and deeds flow, not from contrived calculations, not from wild scatteredness, but instead from love's deeply centered spontaneity. This is known by many labels, such as right effort, effortless effort, doing without doing, wu wei, going with the flow, being in the zone, as well as expedient means and listening to the whispers of the Dharmakaya. The Buddha taught in the second to the last passage of his discourse on the four bases of mindfulness that one could master this path in as little as 7 days. Mastering the path does not mean we no longer experience certain emotions, for that would be tantamount to a lobotomy. It means we have mastered mindfulness. It means we have mastered the art of vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly noticing the full spectrum of human perceptions, emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. All of them, be they external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, convenient or arduous, glorious or grotesque. It means we've mastered the art of meditation, wherein as we physically relax into our exhalation, that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, less defining, and less graspable. As non-graspable as a vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand. It doesn't mean we've repressed our cruel or selfish impulses. It means we've noticed them as we breathe in and relax as we breathe out, rendering them impotent. No longer to control us like a puppet on a string. The late Tukul Tundip insisted that the highest love was the spontaneous and uncontrived byproduct of watching and resting in harmony with our breathing. No longer do we neurotically seek to gain leverage over ourselves through fearful fantasies of hell and damnation. We can simply flow from a place of love's deeply centered spontaneity, where giving a flying fuck for others becomes as effortless as sneezing during hay season. We come now to Ana-yoga's union of bliss and letting go, which is known by many names, such as Bindu Mahamudra, completion stage, and Tikle's channels, winds, and drops. A useful preliminary practice is to gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in our chest. An easy way to accomplish this is to chant the Lama no Jor, which could be translated as teacher blend with this mind. No, Virginia. There is no need to visualize or believe, or philosophize. Simply by chanting these words, we do all that we need to do when it comes to the prospective energy work. For my friends who have joined me on the Tube app, this bronze image once again represents us, the meditator, and this red image represents either the amalgam of all those who have mastered the teachings or simply the amalgam of the teachings. Together, let's chant 3 times. Teacher blend with this mind. Teacher blend with this mind. Teacher blend with this mind. If you have just tuned in, allow me to remind you that it's useful, in fact, deeply beneficial for us to avoid the bear trap, to avoid stepping in the bear trap of actively focusing on our chest or our breath. For doing so could so exhaust our medial prefrontal cortex just behind the forehead that we trigger our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression, that can be found at the bottom of our brain. Instead, let us emulate an enthusiastic piano student who is so enthralled with the score and the keyboard that they merely hold the sound of their metronome in passive peripheral awareness. Similarly, as we feel air fill our chest, let us silently and mentally recite passively feeling. So we're using the verb feeling figuratively. The color of the text and the selection of the verb feel help to bring the energy effortlessly into the chest. So the key word here is passively. And of course, we're giving ourselves permission to feel whatever comes up. Pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. As we exhale, we physically relax as best we can. This is super important. We physically relax as best we can while chanting the 10-syllable mantra 3 times per breath for a total of 52 breaths. To keep track of our first 12 mantras, every time we chant the syllable Om, let us advance our right thumb across the sets of creases found on the underside of our fingers. Together. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa. Passively breathing, passively feeling. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa. Okay, that took approximately 1 minute. Therefore, to meditate, practice mantra meditation for an additional 12 minutes, it could behoove us to count 12 sets of 12 mantras each. Therefore, let us place the tip of in order to keep track of our next set of 12 mantras, let us place the tip of our left thumb upon the lower set of creases of our left little finger, and then rest our left wrist on or near our left knee. And then, of course, return our attention to our right hand. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. And now, of course, it's time to advance our left thumb to the next set of creases. And now that you understand how to count 12 sets of 12 and 12 mantras each, let's rest each wrist on or near its respective knee. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi Suwa. 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 Om Tari Tari Turi Sawa. 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 Let us shift gears to Mahayoga's union of love and letting go, where we bring our neurotic needs and desires into the peaceful path of manifesting mental, interpersonal, physical, and circumstantial happiness to all beings everywhere. It is known by many names, such as Tantra, Mahamudra, Tokal, or leaping over jealousy's obstruction to omniscience, creation stage, and bringing love or conventional bodhicitta into the four bases of mindfulness. Since we're already wired, since our anterior cingulate gyrus is already wired for empathy, and our oxytocin-oriented reward system is already wired for cooperation, let's practice mental wishing love. May each being's experience of the mental no be as peacefully wise as the mind of an octifocal Buddha symbolized by a bija seed syllable. During our inhale, let us silently and mentally recite the loving wish for bija wise, of bija wise for all minds. These 6 syllables serve as a synopsis of that which we just chanted. Again, during our exhalation, let us physically relax as best we can while chanting the 10-syllable mantra 3 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Tari Tari Turi Sawa. 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 Om tadi tu tadi tu de suwa. Om tadi tu tadi tu de suwa. Om tadi tu tadi tu de suwa. Let us shift gears to the interpersonal. Please chant with me. May each being's experience of the interpersonal be as joyfully loving as the speech of an archetypical Buddha symbolized by a mantra. Mantra love for all speech. Om tadi tu de suwa. 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 Let us shift gears to the physical. One of the cool things that the Buddha taught is that all human experience can be described in terms of the four bases of mindfulness. The mental, the interpersonal, the physical, and the circumstantial. In that by wishing people well in terms of those four bases of mindfulness, we are wishing people well in all aspects, or all dimensions, or all facets of their life. May each being's experience of the physical now be as healthy as a form of an archetypical Buddha symbolized by a yidam. Yidam health for all forms. Om tadi tu de suwa. 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 Let us conclude by shifting our gears to the circumstantial. Together, may each being's experience of the circumstantial now be lavished with a good fortune or boon. As the lot of an archetypical Buddha, symbolized by a paradise, pure land, or Vati. Om tadi tu de suwa. Om tadi tu de suwa. Om tadi tu de suwa. Om tari tu re suwa. Om tari tu re suwa. Om tari tu re suwa. Let us not fall into the trap of dread and desire. And think of it this way. If playing with this union of love and letting go, exercises our neural pathways responsible for empathy and cooperation, then that is a huge victory. If supernaturally they change the world around us, well, that's just icing on the cake. Om tare tu re suwa. 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 Having sat for the better part of an hour, we might find it refreshing to practice senior citizen squat thrusts after chanting the essence of bodhicitta and refuge. Together. In our compassion, may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of dread, desire, and delusion, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism, may our liberation of all others be fueled by the mastery of the three wish-fulfilling jewels of following the Buddha's example, applying his instructions, and cooperating with his students. May we free all through the three jewels. May we free all through the three jewels. May we free all through the three jewels. All right. If you wish to join me for senior citizen squat thrusts, I'm going to take a moment to turn off my heater and swing my laptop around. Okay, let's go for 7 repetitions. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. For Meditate Like a Jedi is made possible thanks to the generosity of viewers just like you. In approximately 10 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's dusk practice of Meditate Like a Jedi. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.